sketching rational functions by hand. Using intercepts, asymptotes, lines of symmetry, and plotted points, we will sketch the curve c of x equals 5 plus 2x over 1 plus x. So these are the steps that we'll follow. We'll first look for a y-intercept. And remember, we find the y-intercept by setting x equal to 0. We simplify that expression, and we get that c of 0 equals 5. So the y-intercept is located at 0, 5. Now we'll look at the x-intercept by setting y equal to 0. In a rational expression, the only way it could equal 0 is if the numerator equals 0. In this case, that would happen at negative 5 halves for x. So my x-intercept is negative 2.5, 0. Now the horizontal asymptotes for a rational function p of x over q of x. Let's look at the degree of both the numerator and the denominator. In this case, the degree of the numerator equals the degree of the denominator. When that happens, the horizontal asymptote occurs at the coefficient of x in the numerator. So my horizontal asymptote will be at y equals 2. Vertical asymptotes are a little easier to identify. It's the value of x that makes the denominator 0. The vertical asymptote in this case is at x equals negative 1. Slant asymptotes for rational functions occur if the degree of the numerator is exactly 1 more than the degree of the denominator. That is not true in this case, therefore there is no slant asymptote of this function. Then we'll make a table of values and we'll plot some points and sketch the graph. Now to make this table of values, I like to look at my vertical asymptote of x equals negative 1 and pick a couple of points to the left of that and some points to the right of that. I try to pick convenient values of x if I don't have access to a calculator that I can use mental math to find. I substitute each value of x into the function to get the corresponding y value. So these are the points that I will plot to sketch the curve. So let's go ahead and take this information and now graph the function c of x equals 5 plus 2x over 1 plus x. Remember the y-intercept was 0, 5, which we will plot. The x-intercept was negative 2.5, 0. The horizontal asymptote was at y equals 2, and the vertical asymptote was at x equals negative 1. There was no slant asymptote, and the points that we were going to include on our table are here. So now we will plot those points. Negative 4, 1. Negative 2, negative 1. Negative 1.5, negative 4. And then on the other side of the asymptote, we had negative 0.5, 8. We have 1, 3.5. And we have 2, 3, and 5, 2.5. Then we just connect these points with a smooth curve, and there is our function, which we graphed by hand. C of x equals 5 plus 2x over 1 plus x.